I am alive talking about movies once again. Today we talk about Ethan's Coen movie. I don't know if I butchered the name or if this is the way it should be. This is part two of a lesbian trilogy, and part one was Drive Away Doll. And if you have been around the channel for quite some time, you may have seen my review for Drive Away Doll with fellow panelists Grey Poupe and Alex. I think that was back then when Alex was in the show. Um, anyway, I wasn't a fan of Drive Away Doll. Shocker, right? Now, I went to see Honey Don't last Friday. Now, I will be honest, I might not have been in the best mood to see that movie. I still enjoyed it, but I'm going through rough time in real life. I won't get into any detail as of right now, but um, that wasn't a great day. But I did enjoy my trip at the theater watching that movie, and I guess it's the perfect time to just move on to the intro of season 3 of mainstream movies reviews just before we really dive deep into that. Let's do this. So that movie was enjoyable, and it's a bit unfortunate I might be alone tonight to talk about it because maybe other people have other perspective. But Unidont is a investigation about a cult with Captain America. I'm just joking. The actor that plays Captain America is back in Unidont, and we got a colorful cast of characters. I won't lie on that. So with that being said, um, let's just have it presented to add like some kind of visual support to that movie we are talking about. In case some of you may only have heard the name but don't know what we are talking about, so here we are. Honey, don't. This is a movie, and it's a dark comedy. That's how they label it. And it was directed and written by Ethan Coen. And I see another writing um, credit to Trisha Cook. I don't really know her. Maybe I've seen some of her work and I didn't really know it. And there are so many cook in the kitchen when it comes to like producing that movie, but I guess that's normal. And yeah, that's a movie that already made its money back. It does very well based on the intel I see through Wikipedia. Um, so that's one thing, right? And before we really dive deep into it, I think the um, cast was perfect. I'm a huge Margaret Qualley guy. I enjoy most of her work. I've seen like 3 or 4 movies with her already, and she's kind of starting to be around. So I've seen The Substance. She was the younger version of Demi Moore character, and she was already in. She was also in. I can't remember the exact name, but that was a weird movie with like 3 stories. I remember it being from last year on Disney Plus. Um, I know it's not porting, but I don't know why I connected the dots. Maybe it's because both movies were weird. Um, I know I've seen another movie with Margaret Qualley, and we had also Willem Dafoe in that same movie. It was from last year. We had Willem Dafoe and Margaret Qualley. They were the 2 big stars attached to the movie. I can't remember the freaking name. I ate that. I ate it. Um, so I enjoy Margaret Qualley a lot. More of her, please. Now I guess this shall be the time. we truly dive deep into that movie. I don't know if after the review I will be covering some comments. We will see. So that's the review now. I'm looking through my notes. It's it's a movie that's funny, but I will be honest. I will be honest there. I didn't laugh the entire time, and maybe it's normal because you cannot always laugh at everything, but sometimes, and again, maybe it's because of my mind state I was in when I went to see it, but sometimes it got under my skin, the attempts at humor. And that's my first issue. The humor, as much as a lot of scenes were indeed very funny, a lot of it didn't work for me. And I was annoyed and I was like, what a chore to get through that movie. Um, Now, my second issue with Honey Don't. Pacing early in the movie with the bat in nature wasn't needed or even great. And it's really early in the movie because I feel like we have a great scene where someone takes off the ring of a victim, and again, we spoiler the entire thing, but that's like in the first 2-3 minutes. But now that's the spoiler warning. Anyhow, so we got a great scene where someone takes out a ring from someone that had a car crash, seemingly, but then later on you realize maybe that was a bigger conspiracy with like someone else ending that person's life. But but after that, let's take a ring scene. We get another scene where one of the characters, one of the bad girls in that movie, takes a bath in nature. Filler. Then there's that entire sequence where she is driving around. Not needed. It took up like 2-3 minutes, but for me, like these 2-3 minutes, I'd rather spend it doing something else. And maybe I misunderstood the point of that scene. Maybe. I don't know, but to be honest, I feel like that start of the movie was a bit rough on me. Now, the third issue. The third issue is lots of filler eye candy intimacy. I I get it. They really want to show you all of these beautiful people sleeping around and such. Was everything needed? I feel like it was poor things all over again. Because poor things had a lot of meaningless and useless bedroom fun scene to remain YouTube friendly. And Oni don't. I I see some similar things going on there. Very similar things. Um, yeah, not a fan of it. Next up, next up. In the same vein of the humor throughout the movie, I'd say some of the dialogue felt very off-putting for me, and I was like, man, is it some kind of like Gen Z that wrote that trap? Really, that's how I felt in lots of the moments. These people, they don't know how to write dialogue. What happened? Maybe it's the millennial that taught the wrong things to Gen Z. Anyhow, these were my four issues. I don't have any other issues. And overall, I feel like I've been trashing the movie and all, but I enjoyed the experience. It was a funny movie. I think I'd recommend watching it. Now let's get into what I enjoyed because I was overly negative, and again, I still enjoyed that movie despite all of the negative. That I think that was fun, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot to say because I went in the theater and I don't have that much notes. So let's get into it. Ani was a very likable character. She was really cool, and maybe it's because of the Margaret quality charm. I don't know. The main villain in their reveal at the end was cool. Cast and characters were solid, with like Captain America as that cult leader. I enjoyed the cult leader a lot. He was probably my favorite villain, and that Black Widow type character that just sleeps around and huff you. She left an impact. The cult was enjoyable. The family of the main character was very enjoyable. So the sister, the nieces and nephews, they were enjoyable. The kids and teenagers really felt as such. So this means people involved in that movie, they probably know a lot of kids and teenagers. That's why it kind of made sense. The next thing was the detective that keep hitting on Margaret Qualley character Oni. He doesn't realize she's lesbian, and they needed to crack that joke. I'm a nice guy, but like he kind of harass her. Um, yeah, I guess that's the dark humor. The last thing to enjoy, the movie was great at showing overtelling. Oh, and yeah, there was the Mexican guy that basically shot someone. That was cool. The action in that movie was enjoyable. It was a fun trip. And that movie, in my books, among the 106 2025 movie I've seen, that one is right in the middle. That's the thing. I enjoyed a lot of movies this year. This one is just right in the middle. It's still very good. I will be honest. There are not that many movies I hated watching this year. Um, there's more I liked than I didn't like. So, Only Don't in my books deserves a very strong 8.5 out of 10. That was a fun experience. I only had 4 issues, and I'm like, you know what? It's worth watching. So, I did enjoy that thing a lot more than whatever Drive Away Doll was. And after seeing that part 2, I'm excited about part 3 of a lesbian trilogy. With that being said, let's get into Rotten Tomato to see what other people had to say on that movie. I'm excited to read out some of the comments, to disagree or agree with it. It's content, you know. It's content. Let's screen share because we try to be visual here, even if it's a podcast where what I say is the thing that matters the most. We still try to support it with visually pleasing things. And I just realized like that big square it hides the season 3 title underneath the picture. Anyhow, um, continue whiteout disabling. I don't want all of these annoying pictures, so only don't. That's the movie. Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Is it another case where I'm crazy? Looks like it. The critic 45 and the fans 43. My, I need to know why. Critic reviews for all of its very real charms, not least of which is, to be frank, fleshy tenor and its bedroom fun scenes. Honey Don't doesn't fully work, even on its own scaled back turn. Half a dozen or so good joke, notwithstanding the movie, is a slog shockingly bereft on even Coen's Basilian virtues. Story didn't flow very well, choppy, liked the character and banter, storyline was good. Ani clearly likes Psycho Ladies as a regular old movie viewer, having seen No Country for Old Men or probably that. The movie was okay, but not great. It was somewhat confusing and jumped around too much. Interesting. I want to see more of these films. So the average is like 2 or 3 stars. Very interesting. I wish I had someone else on the show. Um, the next one, the movie was but no explanation for anything that happened in the movie. I ate spending 75 and wasted 2 hours my life watching this elementary film. I thought director of No Country for Old Men was going to direct this. You guys didn't tell me he has dementia now. That's harsh, folks. That's harsh. These people, maybe I'm crazy. I would watch Margaret Qualley eat hot dogs for an hour and a half. And I thought I had issues. Um, I would watch. No, I've already said that. I absolutely love that film. Oh, cool. The first one that agrees with me. Margaret Qualley and Aubrey Plaza were amazing in it. I agree 100%. I just wish that person had more like comments on why it's not 5 stars. Messy but intermittently fun experience ensured by Margaret Qualley performance. So overall, the comment are like Margaret Qualley is great, and I agree. She is amazing. Give her a Oscar already, please. So that was the first episode of Mainstream Movie Reviews, Season 3. I hopefully will finish Season 3 by the end of this year, so this means we will have live shows and uploads. 2026 in the other end will be different. I won't have as much time as I do right now, so next year the show will have a new format. I'm done with the seasons and cannot wait to share with all of you the new format. Anyhow, thank you for watching. This shall be the end and Wednesday, 2 days from now. We talk about Ghost Rider in film and shows adaptation. Last week we had two mainstream movies. I unfortunately didn't have time to talk about Ghost Rider, but Wednesday we do. And next week, another show is coming back, the Red Blue Podcast with Super Bald and Matt. With this, we are out. Bye bye.